Germany's governing CDU party has chosen Armin Laschet as its new party leader. Party members elected Laschet in an online convention, beating Conservative Friedrich Merz in a runoff. He is now in a strong position to become the Christian Conservatives' candidate in general elections held later this year. The 59-year-old beat Merz and another rival, Norbert, Röttgen, to the top spot. Laschet is state premier of North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany's most populous state. He is considered a moderate and has vowed to continue Chancellor Angela Merkel's policy of keeping the CDU in the political centre. Laschet replaces Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer, who took over the party leadership from Merkel in 2018. All right, let's bring in our chief political editor, Michaela Kufner, who's covering the convention for us. Michaela, we have the results. Armin Laschet will be the new CDU party leader. Who is he and what does he stand for?
Yes, well, he's the state premier of North Rhine-Westphalia. He stands for continuity. He stands for what Germany is most known for in the world, stability, politics, also Merkel style. He is a close ally of Angela Merkel. He is a product of her political structures within the CDU party that she led for 18 years before Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer took over, who also was her favourite, but who didn't show much political instinct in that office. So one favourite is taking over from another here, although Merkel did refrain a lot more from giving active backing to Armin Laschet. It's an open secret that he's the one she wanted and he's the one her party got.
So how decisive was the vote insofar as does Laschet now have a mandate to take full control of the party?
Yes, he has a full mandate to shape the programme of the party, and this vote was as much about who may be the next Chancellor candidate and take over from Angela Merkel for real, as it was about what conservative means when translated into German over those coming post-Merkel years. And the message is there isn't so much great change. There was no departure back to more conservative roots, no shift slightly to the right, as there potentially would have been with Friedrich Merz, who really saw a different outlook on what conservative means. Let's listen in to what Armin Laschet said just after his victory.
Friends joining us from home who have cast your votes today, I want to thank you for the great trust you have placed in me. I am aware of the responsibility that this position entails, and I intend to do everything in my power to ensure that we get through this year together, and that together we prevail in the state elections only weeks away, and in the national elections too, and that we ensure once again that the new Chancellor comes from our ranks.
OK, well, our chief political editor, Michaela Kufner, is still with us. Michaela, what do you make of this opening statement?
Yes, that's an interesting one. A chancellor comes from our ranks, so he didn't want to rule out that someone else might become chancellor candidate. Health Minister Jens Spahn, who's become the face of the German corona pandemic response, is his teammate in his bid to become party leader. Now that this has happened, we might well see him rise to a great potential there, because Armin Laschet said he doesn't want to be CEO. He wants to be the captain of the ship, the CDU party, Germany's last remaining big tent party. So no clear claim that his name would also have to be on that ballot when Germany goes to the elections in September. So a lot of room for manoeuvre for those who might want to throw in their bid to become the next chancellor, including potentially Markus Söder, the state premier of Bavaria, and the leader of the CSU Conservative sister party there.
So with all of that in mind and general elections very much in full view in our future, what will now be the main task of Armin Laschet?
Well, he has to reunite the party. Friedrich Merz, who wanted a clear shift back into a more conservative take on what being a Christian Democrat means, who wanted to correct the Merkel course. He never said it directly, but he is a former political rival of hers. There was no questions about that. So he will have to integrate that camp that was so critical, that was actually threatening really to stop following Angela Merkel's lead over the migration crisis. That is something he needs to learn to reintegrate. He will have to find his own way there. He can cash in on Merkel as political brand when it goes towards those elections, but he will also have to navigate a course that sees the CDU not just as a caretaker of the Merkel legacy, but also as a party for a new departure into the future.
I know the dust has barely settled on this result, but have there been any immediate reactions to the result?
Well, we've had reactions so far from amongst those who were speaking there, a lot of Twitter comments, but clearly this is what was expected in terms of those who felt that the CDU would stand for continuity. Clearly, Friedrich Merz, the one who lost, sent the clear signal, well, good luck, guys. So it doesn't sound like he's going to be on that team. He was clearly more in it to lead from the front, but we're still waiting for much broader international reactions.
Michaela, just to clarify before we go, Germany has general elections in September. To clarify, Armin Laschet may not necessarily replace Merkel as Chancellor. Just to explain that for us.
Well, first of all, who replaces Merkel as Chancellor won't necessarily be from the CDU party. This is an open vote, so whoever comes top will become the next Chancellor of Germany. The big question is, who will the CDU choose with the biggest chances to make sure that the CDU once again is the strongest party to deliver that Chancellor? And there are some question marks whether Armin Laschet, who's now in pole position to be on that CDU ticket, will actually make it on to that.
Michaela Kufner, Chief Political Editor, thank you so much.